we should always be thinking of the end consumer. And certainly myself, and I know a lot of suppliers have been honest about it and said, look, it's obviously vital that we need to impress upon the agents themselves as our clients the benefits and get them engaged. But actually, too often we forget about what is it doing for the consumer at the end of the very end of the transaction. And of course, if they're being satisfied, the people up the chain are going to be satisfied as well. So, I think you see a lot of some of the best companies coming out now already thinking about that before. So I think you're right. I think that does make sense. So give us an idea then, John. What's the latest feature that you've added to the platform, and what's it going to be about?
So the latest feature that we released was we're starting to go down this route of kind of providing more kind of property-led information up front at sort of an earlier stage. So one of the kind of quick wins that we weaved into the platform at the end of last year, beginning of this year, were two features. One was to display the local authority search turnaround time across the chain. So if I'm an agent and I've taken on a property, I might be aware of what my local council's search turnaround time is, and it could be good or bad. But my seller might be moving out of area, and it gives me visibility that actually right across the chain, how the local authorities are performing, and whether that's potentially an early indicator of a pinch point and a delay in the whole process. So that's helpful. And then there's also the ability for the agent to actually order the local authority search at the very earliest stage. So we're seeing sort of more and more agents now in the market, as we've had conversations that led to us developing this, is that they're taking more control of the search ordering at the outset. Yeah. And in fact, some of them are even monetizing that process as well along the way. Because we do know that there is traditionally quite a big delay between the money being placed on account with the solicitor and the search is actually being ordered. And then when you add on to that, delays with local authorities, if they're, taking 30 days to turn a search round, it's quite a quick win to be able to shave several weeks off transaction time. And it also shows commitment to the seller at a very early stage from the buyer's perspective, that they've got their ducks in a row, houses in order, they've got their mortgage in principle, the survey's been ordered, and great, the searches are underway as well. This person is committed to buying my home, and it's less likely.
So that's fall throughs and everything.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So, I mean, this is all just, it all just makes, again, the logic is you can't argue with in terms of there, but it makes perfect sense. So ultimately, trying to do all these things, just be prepared from the very first moment, helps you ultimately turn your pipeline around more often, doesn't it?
It does. I mean, it is quite worrying for agents at the moment, because the pipeline turn that, back in the good old days, you might have been able to turn your pipeline between 4 and 5 times in a year. Yeah. The current market conditions that they're operating in, that's probably no more than 2.5, 3 times a year at the moment. Yeah. And that has a big financial impact on an agent.
Cash flow is going to be clear there, isn't it? It's going to be.
Yeah, okay, absolutely.
So that's really, really interesting. And so again, and a nice differentiator, isn't it? Being really, really clear with the clients about, we're doing this so that there aren't those delays down there. At least just being seen as a forward-thinking agent is not the worst place to be in, is it?
It's about taking control of what is within your grasp to control, isn't it? And identifying where there are potential pinch points and delays, and being able to offer a solution to be able to sort of overcome those at an early stage. I mean, at the end of the day, these searches are all accepted by all of the major high street lenders and so forth. They've been accepted, a personal local authority search has been accepted for over a decade now. It's commonplace. And that is playing off our parent company, TM, their kind of heritage in that whole legal space with providing and ordering searches for over sort of 20 years. So it shouldn't be anything, out of the ordinary for a solicitor who's perhaps receiving this search result from their buyer. And it's actually saving them the effort, but more importantly, it's reducing the timescale. That's one of the key, that is the key driver behind us developing that in the platform as an option for agents.
And that's against a background, obviously, of last year of obviously timescales going completely the other way, isn't it? So actually, anything you're able to do to mitigate that, with tools like this, has a double effect, really, doesn't it? Because that's the effect that most agents are going to be seeing with their own time to sell and everything else.
Yeah, absolutely.